Gather round. I've seen this trick before. The spark gets photographed. The gasoline gets ignored. The verdict shows up first, and the evidence gets written later. The story always starts where the damage appears, never where the pressure accumulated over years, never where the subtle little digs interfered, never where the motive hid beneath the polished veneer. Selective recollection dressed in precipice sincere, carefully directing every lens away from mirrors. Frame the reaction as the problem for the peers, then erase the prior chapter and pretend it disappeared. After all the fiction gets omitted from the sequence, every shot reduced to something harmless in appearance, every boundary violation downgraded by convenience, every contradiction buried underneath obedience. All chase control and call it guidance when they speak and chase compliance, then disguise it as concern for other people. When the script stops working and the target stops agreeing, suddenly the target becomes dangerous and evil. Minute after minute, little incidents are stacking. Layer after layer till the patient starts cracking. Pressure pattern gathering, pensive damage happening. The complication turn enacted through attrition. Measure addiction mixed with manufactured distance. Subtle repetition and the blame through repetition. Paradigm it comes for restorating this concentrating contradiction like a disciplinary infraction. Not because they're right, because they're comfortable. This is true, because it's functional. Then the moment finally comes and the response gets elevated, magnified and isolated, studied and exaggerated. Every price tracker suddenly becomes unrelated. Every root condition conveniently evaporated. Now the camera got its right direction. Now the context leaves the room. Now the symptom gets examined. Now the cause becomes taboo. Illness press the blame for hours. Never mention who struck matches. Analyze the smoke in detail. Never question what was burning. Misquote, remix, revise, redefine, rearrange timelines till a sequence aligns. Group of conflicts, keep what fits. Build a version where the evidence conveniently slips. Project intention under defensive frustration. Treat reaction as a source of the situation. Selective observation, strategic narration. Turn a consequence around and call it provocation. Highlight behavior while hiding conditions. Measure responses while missing positions. Study the outcome, ignore the collisions. Then call the conclusion objective precision. But here's the part that fascinates me. Everybody understands collapse. Very few study accumulation. Everybody notices the breaking point. Very few investigate the force required to reach it. That's where responsibility disappears. Not in the reaction, in the refusal to acknowledge the chain that produced it. Truth don't panic when examined from a distance. Truth survives scrutiny, sequence of consistency. Truth don't need edits, omissions, or assistance. Truth remains stable under pressure and persistence. A reconstruction presented every time it's revisited. If the details get adjusted when the facts become inconvenient. If the cause keep vanishing whenever blame gets distributed. Maybe the story isn't broken, maybe the editing is. The easiest way to dodge responsibility is to argue about the reaction until nobody remembers the action. And the oldest trick in the book is making the wound explain itself while the knife claims innocence. Gather round. I've seen this trick before. The spark gets photographed. The gasoline gets ignored. The verdict shows up first, and the evidence gets written later. Funny how the story always starts where the damage appears. Never where the pressure accumulated over years. Never where the subtle little digs interfered. Never where the motive hid beneath the polished veneer. Selective recollection dressed in precipice sincere. Carefully directing every lens away from mirrors. Frame the reaction as the problem for the peers. Then erase the prior chapter and pretend it disappeared. Funny Funny how the friction gets omitted from the sequence. Every shirt reduced to something harmless in appearance. Every boundary violation downgraded by convenience. Every contradiction buried underneath obedience. Some folks chase control and call it guidance when they speak, and chase compliance and disguise it as concern for other people. When the script stops working and the target stops agreeing, suddenly the target becomes dangerous and evil. Minute after minute, little incidents are stacking. Layer after layer till the patient starts cracking. Pressure pattern gathering, passive damage happening. Silent aggravation turning active through attrition. Measured misdirection mixed with manufactured distance. Subtle repositioning to blink through repetition. Narrative management masquerading as conviction. Treating contradiction like a disciplinary infraction. Not because they're right, because they're comfortable. Not because it's true, because it's functional. Yeah, then the moment finally comes and the response gets elevated, magnified and isolated, studied and exaggerated. Every prior factor suddenly becomes unrelated. Every condition convenient and leeward depredated. Now the camera points one direction, now the context leaves the room. Now the symptom gets examined, now the cause becomes taboo. They'll discuss a flavor hours, never mention who struck matches. Analyzers spoken detail, never question what was burning. It's true, green notes, green vines, reaffirm, rearrange timelines to the sequence of lines. Flip what conflicts, keep what fits. Spell a version where the evidence conveniently slips. Project agenda on the defensive frustration. Treat reaction as the source of the situation. Selective observation, strategic duration. Turn a concentration around, call it provocation. Highlight behavior while hiding conditions. Measure responses while missing positions. Study the outcome, ignore the collisions. Then call the conclusion objective precision. But here's the part that fascinates me. Everybody understands collapse. Very few study accumulation. Everybody notices the breaking point. Very few investigate the force we're kind to reach it. That's where responsibility disappears. Not in the reaction, in the refusal to acknowledge the chain that produced it. Truth don't panic when examined from a distance. Truth survives scrutiny, truth restrict consistency. Truth don't need edits, omissions or assistance. Truth remains simple, one that looks for it persistent. Stick with the time and changing every time it's revisited. If the details get adjusted when the facts become inconvenient, it becomes vanishing with the fullness of it. And maybe the story is about the movie, but it is the easiest way to dodge responsibility is to argue, remember the action, till nobody remembers the action. Making the wound explain itself, while the knife claims innocence.
Funny thing about distortion, it rarely starts with a lie. Usually starts with a revision, a detail removed, a motive inserted, a reaction spotlighted, an action omitted, then repeated until the edit replaces the event. Repeating 1,000 variations. Same manipulation dressed in different explanations. Same selective narration shaping public perception. Frame the reaction as proof while erasing the inception. Never discuss what happened before the explosion. Only discuss the response and ignore the corrosion. Focus attention on symptoms detached from the sequence, then call the resulting resistance a rational defense. Funny how facts get elastic when power is threatened. Suddenly context gets cropped and intentions get edited. Evidence buried beneath the convenient impression. Questions redirected whenever specifics are mentioned. They don't debate observations, they debate interpretation. Substitute assumptions for documented information. information, turn uncertainty into confident declarations, then accuse disagreement of creating complications. Notice the pivot, deflect and redirect, reject and project, compress the event into selective excerpts, context converted to fragments presented as verdicts, actions omitted, reactions exhibited, sequence inverted, error defeated, pressure reply, response elicited, response displayed, pressure diminished, every omission assisting delusion, every revision improves the confusion, every distortion depends on exclusion, every deception survives through diffusion. Some pursue influence through competence and contribution, others chase control through confusion and attribution. They don't need accuracy, only plausibility, just enough ambiguity to manufacture uncertainty. If they can keep the discussion revolving around emotion, they never have to examine the originating motion. That's why the spotlight stays fixed on retaliation, while the behavior provoking it avoids investigation. Interesting dot and same thing everywhere. A person gets pushed for months, finally reacts. Reaction becomes the headline. Provocation disappears cause becomes invisible. Effect becomes the exhibit, and everyone debates the exhibit. Almost nobody audits the cause.
Track the sequence, match the statements, check the dates, compare the changes. Note there's revisions replacing explanations. Watch contradictions, acquire decorations.
Listen carefully, language reveals architecture, pressure leaves, signatures, motives leave, curvature, patterns expose, structure exposes, purpose exposes, method exposes, manufacture, no screaming required, no spectacle needed, documentation defeats fabrication, consistency defeats distortion, memory fades, records don't, narratives drift, timelines won't. The strongest response isn't revenge, it's accuracy. Not louder accusations, better observations. Not becoming hostile enough to win the argument, becoming clear enough that the argument collapses. Truth doesn't require theatrical reinforcement. Reality survives without constant advertisement. Facts remain facts regardless of audience alignment. Evidence remains evidence despite social assignment. If a claim requires omissions for survival, it isn't stable. If a story requires distortion for maintenance, it isn't reliable. If accountability only exists for targets and never authors, the system isn't seeking justice, it's seeking comfort. So write it down, keep timestamps, keep context, keep sequence, keep composure. Let the record speak, because manipulation depends on confusion. Clarity removes oxygen. A reaction explains a moment. An action explains the reaction. A pattern explains the action. And the record explains the pattern. That's where the story changes.
Funny thing about distortion, it rarely starts with a lie. Usually starts with a revision, a detail removed, a motive inserted, a reaction spotlighted, an action omitted, then repeated until the edit replaces the event. Seen a pattern repeating 1,000 variations. Same manipulation dressed in different explanations. Same selective narration shaping public perception. Frame the reaction as proof while erasing the inception. Never discuss what happened before the explosion. Only discuss what responds and ignore the corrosion. Focus attention on symptoms detached from the sequence and call the resultant resistance a rational defense. Funny how facts get elastic when power is threatened. Suddenly context gets cropped and intentions get edited. Evidence buried beneath the convenient impression. Questions redirected whenever specifics are mentioned. They don't debate observations, independent interpretation. Substitute assumptions for documented information. Turn eternity into minute decorations, then accuse disagreement of creating complications. Notice the pivot, deflect and redirect, reject and injection. Press the event into selective excerpts, context perverted, the fragments presented as fronted, changes emitted, reactions exhibited, systems and written, narrative fetid, pressure implied, response solicit, their response displayed, pressure diminished. Every emission assists the illusion, every vision improves the confusion, every distortion depends on exclusion, every deception survives through diffusion. Some pursue influence through confidence and contribution. Others are controlled through confusion and execution. Only accuracy over proof and illusion. Just enough ambiguity to manufacture uncertainty. If they can keep the discussion revolving around emotion, they never have to examine the originating motion. That's why the spotlight stays fixed on retaliation, while the behavior provoking it avoids investigation. And testing patterns sequence. Match the statements, check the dates, compare the changes. Notice surveys to be praising explanations. Watch contradiction, the quarter declarations. Listen, come to the links, the reals all essential. Bleacher links and mentions, Modi's length, curvature, patterns exposed, versus ratio is more borders. Here's a exposure, river method exposes more deflation. No screaming required, no spectacle needed. That's excavation defeats, fabrication, consistency defeats distortion. Memory fades, records don't. Narratives drift, timelines won't. Doesn't require theatrical reinforcement. Reality survives without constant advertisement. Facts remain facts regardless of audience alignment. Evidence remains evidence despite social assignment. If a claim requires omissions for survival and isn't stable, if a story requires distortion of evidence and isn't reliable, low accountability only exists for thought. Immediate dismissing them isn't seeking justice and seeking comfort. So write it down. Keep context. Keep context. Keep sequence. Keep composure. Clarity removes oxygen. A reaction explains the moment. A reaction explains the reaction. A pattern explains the action. And a record explains the pattern.
You heard 3 words, skip 30 more. Built a whole story, then knocked at my door. Now you ask me what it was for. Before you saw it, then reacted like it's law. Half the Senate for conviction, never checking what you saw. Fact check fiction, feed assumption, call it truth but miss the source. Touring roads you never travel, still you map out every cause. Cardboard kingdoms, mortal voices, crowded noise into a crowd. Talking up like you decided while the signal's breaking down. Screen-fed answers, headline breakfast to opinions in a spin. Now you lecture like you built it when you never stepped within. Didn't hear me, you heard you. Echo chains in deja vu. Back up, make some room. Let our voices sit before you move. Back up, make some room. Don't define a life you never lived from. Keep the angels, keep your boxes, keep your find inside your friend. You don't listen, you interpolate. Fill the gaps and escalate. Shift the meaning, bend the angle. Call distortion, iterate. Gaslit loops in conversation. Feedback, feed in fabrication. Soft corruption, slow translation. Turns intent to accusation. You don't have to overwrite. Edit, don't make quote the fight. Build a courtroom out of fragments that would never set it light. Push the context down in shape. Then declare it clearly. But the clarity you sell it never matches what I made. It's projection dressed as reason. It's assumption in a suit. It's a mirror talking loudly while it argues with the truth. And I see it in the moment, not after, not behind. I can trace the whole illusion while it's forming in your mind. That's the pattern, that's the loop, that's the feed, that's the spoof. Every claim you
you build is stepping on the verge that makes the pearl. Snap the signal, snap the pattern, snap the meaning you misplaced. Snap the story you constructed over someone else's face. Gaslit motion, recursive motion, feedback dressed as calm devotion. Truth gets sliced into small pieces just to fit inside emotion. And I'm walking, no reaction, just a spark inside my brain. Makes it count like quiet judgment, watching chaos wear itself thin. Stop! Reaction! Projection! Projection! Stop! False connection! New direction! Every assumption stacking higher than the facts you skipped before. Every I think what you meant just becomes a knock behind the door. Built it, named it, claimed it, shamed it, reframed it till it worked. Then stood there shocked when reality didn't match what you had done. Don't put your words in my mouth. Don't fill my silence with your shout. If you wanna know what I am, listen, don't reweigh it out. Back up, make some room. Let people think we got you down. Back up, make some room. We define a life, you got your wrong. Keep your fragrance, keep your tolerance, keep your trust. We gotta roll. Back up, make some room.
Funny thing about projection, it always sounds like certainty until it runs into reality. Then it gets quiet.
You heard 3 words, skipped 30 more. Built a whole story, then knocked at my door. Now you ask me what it was for.
Reacted like it's law. Half the sentence for conviction. Never checking what you saw. Fact check fiction, feed assumption. Call it truth but miss the source. Touring roads you never traveled, still you map out every course. Cardboard hymns, borrowed voices, crowding noise into a crowd. Talking up like you decided, while the signals break it down. Slooping answers and low pregnant to opinions in the spin. Now you lecture like you built it when you never stepped within. You didn't hear me, you heard you. Back up, make some room. Let a voice exist before you move. Back up, make some room. Don't define a life you never lived through. Keep your life out. Keep your bullshit in your brow. We don't win inside your throne. You don't listen, you interpolate. Fill the gaps and escalate. Shift the meaning, bend the angle. Call distortion, iterate. Gaslit loops in conversation. Feedback feeding, fabrication. Soft corruption, slow translation. Projection turns intent into accusation. You don't ask, you overwrite. Edit tone, they quote the fight. Build the courtroom out of fragments that were never set in light. Push the context out of shape, then declare it clear and clean. But the clarity you're selling never matches what I mean. It's projection, dressed as reason. It's assumption in a suit. It's a mirror talking loudly while it argues with the truth. And I see it in the moment, not after, not behind. I can trace the whole illusion while it's forming in your mind. That's the pattern, that's the love, that's the fate, that's the spoof. Every claim you build is stepping on a version that's the proof. Snap the saddle, snap the pattern, snap the meaning you misplaced. Snap the story you constructed over someone else's face. Gaslit motion, recursive motion, feedback dressed as condevotion. Truth gets sliced into small pieces just to fit inside emotion. And I walk in no reaction, just a spark inside my grid. Matchstick held like client judgment, watching chaos wear itself thin. Reaction, projection, false connection, new direction. Every assumption stacking higher than the facts you skipped before. Every I think what you meant is becomes a knock behind the door. Built it, made it, laid it, shaped it, right faked it till it worked. Then stood there shocked when reality couldn't make what you acted. Don't put your words in my mouth. Don't fill my silence with your shout. If you wanna know what I am, listen. Don't rely on back up, make some room. Let people speak, one doubt your view. Back up, make some room. With a final ledge, with bones on road. Take your breaks, take 3 splitters in your drum. We gotta run. Back up, make some room. Funny thing about projection, it always sounds like certainty until it runs into reality. Then it gets quiet.